This message isn't for everyone, but it's definitely for you, Virgo. Welcome to your reading. We are asking the question, what is it that you are not willing to admit? So we'll go ahead and get started. I'll go ahead and start shuffling the cards and pulling the cards to see what it is you're not willing to admit. What is Virgo not willing to admit? Now, this could be about anything, love, career, whatever. What is Virgo not willing to admit? So we have the Ten of Wands in reverse, the Hanged Man in reverse, the Page of Swords in reverse, the Three of Pentacles, the Page of Swords is upright. The Three of Pentacles is in reverse with Death at the bottom of the deck. I'm going to go ahead and pull some astrology signs of who you could potentially be dealing with at this time. My gosh, I cannot speak. Some of you could be dealing with a Scorpio with Death at the bottom of the deck. We have early learning, childhood relations, the rational mind, and communication, house 3. Water, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, spiritual, emotional, and intuition, and compassion. And then we have fixed signs, which is Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, stability, persistence, loyalty, and dependability. So the signs you could be dealing with are Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio again, Aquarius, and then we do have Death here in the reverse at the bottom of the deck. That's Scorpio. We have the Hanged Man here. That is Hanged Man. Is that Pisces? No, that's not Pisces. Who's Hanged Man? I cannot remember. My goodness. Anyway, that's who we have here on the table. Let me just take a look at the cards because I cannot remember who is Hanged Man. Was that Sagittarius? No. It's gotta be a fixed sign. Okay, so let me just look at these cards. We have the Ten of Wands reverse, Hanged Man reverse, Page of Swords upright, Three of Pentacles reverse with Death at the bottom of the deck. Okay, Virgo, I feel like this feels like you might have like an idea that you would like to pursue. This could be career or educational with the Page of Swords here. It feels like there's something like a burden you have recently released or will be releasing soon. And this burden, I feel like, has to do with your perception, the way you view maybe life, a situation, or your career. But it feels like there may be like you may be coming into a time where you feel very curious about something, very focused. This Page of Swords, she's holding the sword and she's holding a book, and she just looks very youthful, very like engaged, even happy. Feels like there's something here where you are maybe getting your spark back, your mental spark, because Virgo is also ruled by Mercury, so there is like maybe communication, learning, education, and furthering your education, or just learning about something new. And it feels like this is something you want to pursue, but with the Three of Pentacles in reverse, you may not feel like you have the resources to pursue this whatever this is, whatever this idea is, or maybe you want to further your education, but financially you don't have the backing, or you don't feel like you have the resources, or you don't know the right people to work with or to connect with to make this happen. This kind of curiosity, like I said, it feels like you are, if you haven't already, you'll come to a point where you need to release something that's kind of been weighing you down. It's like you've been carrying something around for a long time on your own. This could be your responsibilities. This could be just like some emotional baggage, some past wounds. This could be anything. But when you release whatever this is, your perception of yourself and even life will change, of your future perception will change. But it feels like there's still like a bit of a wall or obstacle that you are facing, even when you release this baggage. But with death here and the reverse, it feels like maybe this obstacle is part of your transformation into this new life, which could lead to stability, because right behind death we have the Four of Wands, and the Four of Wands always, the number 4 always for me is stable energy, and it feels like you'll be stabilizing yourself in some way. And this could be stabilizing with someone else. There's like 2 people in this Four of Wands card. You could also be, like I said, you're releasing something. For some of you, it's kind of like an old way of thinking with the Hanged Man in reverse. And with the Death here, it could be like you're putting to rest like an old version of yourself and trying to initiate yourself into this new energy, but you may be having a hard time grounding it. It could be like the past continues to try to sneak up on you, past ways of thinking, past ways of doing things, whatever. It kind of trying to bring you back down. But for some of you, I feel like this obstacle or this lack of resources is kind of just something in your mind. I don't really get the feeling that this obstacle or this lack of resources is something that you really need to concern yourself about. I feel like also there's a workaround this obstacle that maybe you're not seeing, and that's why it's not a big deal, but maybe in your mind it's a big deal. But there seems to be a workaround that you're not seeing. And this workaround could have to do with someone else helping you with this, or helping you ground this new energy, ground this new idea, or whatever your story is. It feels like with the Four of Wands here, because there's a person behind a person, and it looks like there's someone here that maybe you're not seeing, or something here that you're not seeing that is supporting you. And we do also have the Nine of Wands and the Seven of Wands right behind the Four of Wands. It could be that you are defensive about something or someone, maybe defensive about this idea. Maybe you're a little bit more stubborn in sharing this idea, or whatever it is. It feels like you might be defensive about it, maybe protecting this idea, and maybe that's the obstacle. Maybe you are the obstacle, Virgo, where you need to kind of share this idea and be open to allowing help. And maybe you're the type of Virgo that feels like you need to do everything on your own. Maybe this is a part of your perfection symptoms coming in to sabotage you. But whatever the case may be, it feels like you need to kind of step back and open up and just allow the change, because part of your transformation is probably being more open. You could have been carrying around a lot of wounds, a lot of hurt, a lot of mistrust from the past with this 10 of Wands in reverse. And this is what is trying to shift and change for you. But you kind of are still a little bit defensive, maybe protecting your old self in a way. Because we do have the 3 of Swords reverse right after the 7 of Wands with the Ace of Swords in reverse. So it's like you're not, I mean, the swords are falling out, but you might be trying to catch a few of them because you're afraid of change. Which is odd because you're a mutable sign, so change should be a little bit easier for you. Because I feel like once you kind of let the chips fall, the 8 of Wands here is right behind the Ace of Swords. And I think things will progress. And you could be just battling your ego. And I feel like it's your ego that's deceiving you. You could be battling your ego, battling perfectionism, battling whatever negative trait you're trying to put down or grow from, or whatever old perception, old way of being you're outgrowing and trying to establish. It may be a bit of a challenge, like the change and perception may be a bit of a challenge to ground into your reality. But I think once you kind of let things fall, you'll find that you do have support from someone, something. There is support here. There is collaboration here for you, but you have to kind of be open to it. And that's something you have to work on, Virgo. Like nobody else can work on this for you. It kind of feels like that's the end of this reading for you, Virgo, but I am going to pull some like romance cards to see if there's a message from someone you might be connected to romantically, to see if there's a message there for you. But overall, I feel like maybe there's been a shift in perspective for you. I'm just reiterating what the reading was about. There was a shift in perspective for you, or shift in the way you're doing things, or you've released an old version of yourself, or you will be releasing an old version of yourself, or you are currently releasing an old version of yourself. And you may struggle, or might start to struggle, with grounding this new energy that you find yourself in. There could be something also like an idea or a spark of curiosity where you're pursuing something new, and you feel like you don't have the support to pursue this thing. You could also feel like you don't have support in this new version of yourself because everyone outside of yourself, even actually including yourself, is so used to the old Virgo, that you may be struggling to ground this new energy. But I think the message here from Spirit is to continue to work on releasing the old, because we did have the Death at the bottom of the deck, and you are transforming, even though sometimes it may not feel like it. Even if it's slow transition or transformation, you're still going through this, but you can kind of speed this up if you kind of just relax and allow these things to happen. Because I think once you allow these things to fall away from you, you will, and you are an earth sign, so earth signs tend to be a little bit slower at times. So, but I think if you kind of just relax, be less defensive, work on letting go and releasing things, you'll find that this transition or transformation will happen quickly, and you'll find that you'll see that you have all the resources you need to progress forward with the new version of yourself, a new project, a new creativity. Maybe you're even thinking about improving your or higher education, educating yourself on something new. I think you'll find that you have the resources. I know there's a lot going on in this reading in such a short span, but it feels like there's just a lot of new energy around you, but there's also a lot of old energy around you, and it feels like you just need to kind of take a step back and work through these energies to ground your new energy, your new way forward. And it's kind of a good reading for you, Virgo, because we are going into the new year 2026. So however, this can be a timeless reading if this is something that is resonating with you at this time. So I'll go ahead and just pull some cards, some romantic cards, romantic messages for whoever you might be connecting with romantically or hoping to connect with romantically. Messages for Virgo, for the person from the person on their mind. All right, we have communication, the number 8. Words have hurt me in the past, and that's why I fear talking to you. Maybe you're afraid of communicating with someone. That can also be something that you're trying to shed. We have another number 8. You show up in my dreams. It helps me process buried emotions. Like, yeah, there's something you're processing through. Maybe this is in regards to a relationship, but I feel like ultimately, Virgo, you're just trying to shift and work through the old to ground this new energy that you're going to find yourself in, or you're finding yourself in. The next message is the number 9. Look, it's even progressing forward. 8, 9. This message is, because of you, I'm starting to see what is really important in life. And that is like the energy of the Hanged Man reverse. Like the perception, the view has changed. So maybe there was like a romantic relationship that was the catalyst for this change. And the last card is, look, it's progressing. 8, 9, 10. So you're progressing, Virgo. So don't give up, girl or boy or whatever. Just keep going, because this one says, I long for your kisses and your touch. So you may not be in connection with this person, but they could be the catalyst that started this transformation within your life. So I think it was meant to happen. I just think you need to continue to move through it. Even if you're moving a little slowly, even if you're struggling to release certain aspects of yourself or whatever it is you need to release, just keep going, Virgo. You're going to get there. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the number 5. You are in your old patterns but can't see it. Dude, seriously. Didn't I say some of the old energies are lingering? So you're kind of trying to work through both, trying to release the old and ground the new. You may want to start by releasing the old energies first, just like maybe, one step at a time, Virgo. Don't try to do too much. I know you're probably good at juggling, since Virgo is very good at being detail-oriented, organizing, things like that. But maybe just trying to release the old energies first, releasing them enough that frees you up more to move towards the new energies at a faster pace. Anyway, that was your message, Virgo. Hope that resonates with you. Comment, like, subscribe. Talk to you later.